Okay, hello everybody. Retro Guy 25 here. I'm gonna turn on the light. Maybe that's a little too bright. But anyways, uh, but yeah, Retro Guy 25 here, and I just want to say that since it's the 31st of October, happy Halloween everybody, and I just want to name off 10 survival horror games and somewhat survival horror games. Well, one of them somewhat. Well, actually, three of them are somewhat because they're kind of in the survival horror in some ways. But yeah, let's get to it. First one is Fear Effect, the first Fear Effect, and it's a 4-disc game, as you can see. And this game is pretty much survival horror in some ways because you still gotta watch your ammo, and there's some creatures in it throughout the game later on after the very beginning, like a little bit more later on, like starting on disc 2. So yeah, it's a pretty good game. It came out like in '99 or something, I think. But you can let me know down in the comments because I believe it was like '99 is when this game came out. 1999, of course. But yeah, and the next one I'm going to name is the second one, which is actually a prequel, which is Fear Effect 2 Retro Helix. This kind of got some survival horror elements to it, with plenty of blood in it and somewhat gore. But mostly blood for the gore in a ways. And this one is also a 4-disc game, and I find it a little more challenging, a lot more challenging than the first game, but it takes place after this game. So for some reason the company behind it did it backwards. I don't know why, but they did. The next game is Resident Evil 4 for the PlayStation 4. I got the PS4 version. Yes, I played the GameCube version, and I played the PS2 version. This version is just basically a HD remastered version for PlayStation 4, and I believe for Xbox One. But yeah, and also for the PC, I believe too. Yet it got the same treatment. But yeah, so yeah, I mean it's kind of survival horror. The fourth Resident Evil game, the main entry fourth Resident Evil game, that is. I think it's more of a action adventure, but it's kind of survival horror because you still gotta watch yourself, what you do and whatnot, and plus ammo and stuff. Especially if you put on professional when you unlock that mode, and it's a lot harder. So yeah, it's kind of survival horror in some kind of ways. Some things might be kind of creepy, but to some people, but it's really not that much scary because Resident Evil didn't start to do scary stuff as much and less creepy when it came to newer entries into the series. It was originally going to be good, but then that got scrapped. And then started a whole new, different way. But yeah. Next one is, it might have a title, or it's right there. This is a reversible cover. But yes, Bloodborne. It's kind of like a survival horror also. Just because, well, you can pretty much kill creatures in it, and you kind of got to survive, and it's really hard. It's like the Dark Souls series, but just the only differences is only on PlayStation, and right now still on PlayStation 4. So yeah, but it's kind of like a survival horror. So you should check. And anybody that's never heard of it should check it out and whatnot, and you see what I mean when it's kind of is in a way. But yeah. Next game, I guess So Better. It's the top selling Resident Evil game, which is Resident Evil 7 Biohazard, or Resident Evil Biohazard, depending on how you want to say it. It can go either way. But yeah. some people didn't like it as much because it's not exactly the same exact formula of how they brought it back. They brought it back in one way, and that's the dark atmosphere and whatnot, and whatever, and whatnot. I mean, there's jump scares in it, but they're not really scary. I mean, they might make you jump depending on how old you are, but other than that, the overall they're not really that scary of jump scares. I seem better than this game, but yeah, it's a pretty good seller. It's still pretty good, but yeah. Next game that is newer than Resident Evil 7, I think, or maybe a little bit older, which is The Evil Within 2. I think I used to own the first one, but not anymore. But I gotta get the first one again, just because they're both connected, and you play as the exact same character. But yeah, it's pretty good. It's like a survival horror in all kinds of different ways. It's a little bit survivalist and whatnot. Actually, it's a lot survivalist for most of it, and it's kind of like in a way open world and stuff. But yeah. Next game is The Walking Dead Survival Instinct. It's the one that you get to play as Daryl from the TV series. And this one's one of the best Walking Dead games that I would have to say that I ever played. That's actually pretty decent. The Top Tales ones, no, I didn't really like those ones. I don't like those point quick adventure ones too much. I'm not a big fan of point and click adventure games too much. Unless it does catch my interest, I might play it. But yeah, this one's pretty good. I guess it's kind of a short game, but it's pretty good. It's also for Xbox 360, but yeah. If you never heard of it, check it out. 3 more. The first one is Nightmare Creatures 2. This is actually a little bit more better than the first one. Just a little bit. And it's kind of like a survival horror in its own way too and whatnot. But it's more action to it, but it's still pretty good. Got monsters in that, it's got blood, gore, stuff like that and whatnot. But yeah, and the music is by Rob Zombie, as you can see right there. Now, Carrier, here's the one before the last one I'm going to show. It came out around the year 2000, 1 year before the Dreamcast went out in 2001. But it's a pretty good solid game, and it's pretty long, and it's like a Resident Evil clone in a way, but it's got its own style to it too. So it's not a total rip-off of Resident Evil. It's actually a little bit better in some ways than the older Resident Evils and whatnot, but it's pretty good, and it's exclusive to the Dreamcast. It still is. But yeah, so check it out. It's called Carrier. It's a really good survival horror. And the last game is D2. Now this is actually a sequel to D1, but the story and the character's first name is the same, but the last name is different, and the story is totally different than from D1 itself for the PlayStation 1. This is a Dreamcast exclusive, it still is, and it's highly recommended to get checked out if you can play it on the emulator or use the actual Dreamcast, which Dreamcasts are not cheap. They're kind of cheap, but yeah, kind of a little bit up there in price, but if you can find a Dreamcast for a good deal, I would take it, especially if you can find it at a pawn shop or something, or somebody selling one at a yard sale or something, or a secondhand store, the Goodwill or something, or whatever. I would definitely check this game out. It's really good, and it's a 4-disc game, so it's kind of a little long, but yeah. Anyways, but yeah, just wanna let you know that it's Halloween, so I want to show off just 10 games that I wanted to show off, and everybody have a real good happy Halloween, and I'll catch you in the next video, and talk to you later. See ya.